Well, it's been a few days since this game, and there's a reason why it took me a couple of days to record this, to upload this. I'm sorry, by the way. But it's just the emotional part of it that just I can't seem to get off. You know what I mean? I cried literally after the game. It was so emotional. I cried. But Real Madrid are indeed champions of Europe once again, 14th time champions of Europe. Twice as many as AC Milan, which is just an astonishing record, isn't it? But I mean, who would have thought when you predicted the Champions League like before the season started, before PSG, before Chelsea, before Manchester City happened? People would have said Manchester City, PSG, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, maybe Chelsea are favourites to win it. No one, and I mean no one, apart from the Real Madrid fans and Real Madrid, would have thought that Real Madrid would have won it. And they've proved everyone wrong once again. And sometimes I feel like Real Madrid don't get the credit they deserve. I mean, yes, in this game we'll talk about everything, the goals, the chances for Liverpool as well. And I know Courtois basically won it for us. I mean, without him we would have lost 3-4-0 or whatever, right? He made some really, really crucial saves. But it's like, okay, he won it for us. Just get over it. But everyone's still going on about, and especially Liverpool fans, by the way, and former Liverpool players and pundits and all, they're still kind of being salty about the fact that Courtois helped us win it. And they're like, oh my god, you wouldn't have won it if Courtois didn't make those saves. Well, Liverpool would have won it if we took the chances, but we didn't. So we didn't win it, and we won it because we took our only chance, and that was the Vinicius chance. We had to go rule out for offside as well, which we'll talk about later on as well. But Liverpool fans, I understand that it's very heartbreaking to lose a Champions League final. It's heartbreaking, especially for them, because they lost out on the Premier League and Champions League within a week. But just because you guys lost out on two trophies, and maybe it's no fault of your own, why should Real Madrid be blamed for that? Why should it be Real Madrid's fault that you guys didn't take the chance? Right? Why don't you blame your players like Salah, who had a couple of shots, couple of opportunities, but didn't score? Mane had a couple of chances, I believe. He hit the post, and they just had chances, but they didn't take it. Right? So, for one side we can say, okay, you know what? Courtois was the man who saved it. But on the other side, we had to think about it as they didn't take their chances. And I think that's only fair. But let's talk about the chance. Let's talk about the goal, by the way. We'll talk about the goal first. I mean, just what a ball in by Valverde. Now, a lot of people will be thinking, you know what, it might be a shot. But I really don't know. I don't know if he meant to shoot it or he was just trying to pick up Vinicius. But either ways, he went to Vinicius and basically an empty net for him, and he scores. Now, a lot of people will be saying offside there. However, I think Trent just played him on by a little bit. And Benzema is not offside either. So yeah, and someone made the analysis about this game on TikTok. I don't know who made it, but be sure to check this out, by the way. Now, a lot of people will be blaming Van Dijk and Trent for it, but if you look at the replay and the game and all, you can actually see how Robertson pushed a lot more forward to try to win the ball in from Modric, right? And then Modric found Casemiro found Valverde, and by then it was Van Dijk marking Valverde, and Valverde, I mean, Van Dijk just stood there and Valverde just ran at it. And instead of trying to make a tackle or something, he just stood there showing his ass to Valverde, I mean, the picture meme of that online is hilarious. Some of the pictures went too far, by the way. But Valverde had an easy run, and I mean that goal was just poor defending. Poor defending. Where was the left back? Why was the left back pushing so much forward? You leave the centre back exposed, right? Konate had to, mark Benzema. Trent will be thinking, you know what? In case we fail to clear it, I'll be there to try to clear the ball, maybe. Then Van Dijk was trying to maybe get Valverde, but he didn't do much there. So in that case, you have basically left yourself with a 3v3 situation, where it could have been a 4v3. It's now a 3v3 with Valverde, Vinicius, and Benzema as a threat, and the defenders, excluding the goalkeeper, Van Dijk, Konate, and Trent. So Virgil van Dijk isn't doing much to stop Valverde. Konate has to stop Benzema because of how dangerous he is, and Trent isn't really stopping Vinicius at the back post, and it's an empty back post to tap it into once the ball goes in. And again, it's poor defending from Liverpool, and you cannot deny that. The fact that Robertson was pushing all the way to like a left winger spot, like I don't know what he was doing, but it's not for me to judge. Like I said, it's poor defending. And let's talk about the chances Liverpool had. Because let's not discredit them. They had their chances, but like I said earlier, they just didn't take these chances. And when you don't take the chances, you're not gonna win. Football is quite a simple sport, right? You must score to win, basically, right? Unless the opponent scores an own goal, right? But if you don't score, you're not gonna win games. And if your opponent scores, and with our 3 shots, 1 on target or whatever we had, we take it, and there are like 23 shots that they had, but they didn't take it, then you gotta say that we deserved it. And we deserved it not because we had more chances, but we deserved it because we took the chances that we had. And that is why we deserved the Champions League. And if you look at all the other games, we totally deserved it. PSG, the mental strength, right? Chelsea, yes, it wasn't a fully comeback, In fact, Chelsea came back, but we turned that into a comeback of our own. And then Manchester City, again, another comeback with mental strength. So, the road to the final, and then to win it, is incredible. And a lot of people are pointing out we lost to Sheriff. This team lost to Sheriff. Yes, we did lose to Sheriff. But I mean, Champions League winners again. And let's talk about the chances they had. Sadio Mane had a shot in the first half, which was touched onto the post by Thibaut Courtois, who was by far man of the match. Give this guy an 11 out of 10. I mean, if you could, you probably would. And then Benzema had a goal, but it was ruled out for offside now. So Benzema had the ball. He tried passing it to Valverde or whoever. I think he ended up hitting. He ended up going to Konate. And then Alisson hit it to Fabinho. Not really hit it, but he hit Alisson, and then he went to Fabinho. And then Fabinho, I don't know if it was by accident or on purpose. I highly doubt it's on purpose. But passed it to Benzema. Basically, it's quite messy here. So I thought Valverde had a touch there, but apparently not. He hit off Fabinho, goes to Benzema, takes the shot, offside. I think it's a bit cruel. I think it's a bit of a 50-50 whether that's actually offside, but it was given. And you know what? Don't really care, do we? We don't really care. Another chance, Trent put in a cross in. Courtois punched it away. I mean, that was another incredible chance by Liverpool should have taken. And then Salah had a couple more chances. Actually, before his chance, there's a chance from Diogo Jota. He puts in a ball to Jota. And I mean, he nearly went in because Courtois was not expecting that. And then he had a shot with his right foot, which was in my opinion, one of the best saves I've seen. Maybe the best saves of this game. On his right foot, Courtois with an absolutely incredible save to his right. So you look at those chances, you think, okay, you know what? There's a good 3 to 4 chances there. The Mane chance, potentially the Thiago chance, where if he had a touch to it, maybe he would have had it home. And then Trent and Keita had shots each themselves, which went horribly wide and over. Sorry. Salah had himself like 1 or 2 chances. That is 4 to 5 chances where they should have scored at least 2 to 3. I'm sorry, but if you put 2 in, you would have won it. If you put 1 in, you would have gone to extra time. But instead, you squandered their opportunities. Those opportunities, sorry. And who else to blame? You gotta blame yourself. You gotta look at yourself thinking, it's our fault that we missed those opportunities to score. It's our fault. No one else's fault. It's not Courtois' fault because that's his job, right? It's his job. So it's not his fault that we lost. It's our fault. And the common thinking is, okay, it's the goalie's fault because he saved it. But that's what he's there for. Do you think Real Madrid paid Courtois like 200k a week to stand in goal to let Liverpool score? No goalkeeper is there to let you score. So obviously, it's whether you can score, and if you can't, it's your fault. So I think overall Liverpool fans, they got enough excuse. Everyone that is related to Liverpool will come out and say, you know what, it's Courtois, because without Courtois we would have scored. Well, maybe if you just scored and take opportunities, you would have scored, right? But instead they chose to blame it on Courtois doing his job, right? Anyways, later on, Ceballos had this chance where he could have gone on a one-on-one chance, but instead he tries to square it to Benzema, and I think it was cleared away in the end. But it didn't matter. It really didn't matter. So this was the perfect game for Marcelo to end off what has been an absolutely stunning career at Real Madrid. I believe this is his 5th Champions League, if I'm not wrong. A few players already have their 5th. You look at the players who has been with us, before 2014, right? So Benzema has his 5th. Modric, Kroos. I don't need to go on and on and on about who and state everyone, but you know what I mean, right? And it's also kind of cool to see some players who recently joined, like Alaba. I believe he himself has a couple, but he gets one in Real Madrid. The young players, right, like Camavinga, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Valverde, gets their first. Courtois as well, he's first with Real Madrid. Militao, Carvajal, I'm pretty sure it's his 5th as well. So there's a mix. Some players are more experienced and some of the players are new and have just won their first Champions League trophy with the club, which is genuinely incredible. Now, that might be it for this review, I think. Transfer wise, apparently Real Madrid are interested in an American goalkeeper called Gabriel Sliodani. I'm pretty sure I say his name right. Hopefully I did. Apparently Chelsea were going to make a bid for him until the sanctions and what was going on with the club. These are according to Fabrizio, by the way. And apparently Bayern have been watching him, and Real Madrid could make an open bid. Lunin will probably leave on loan, or maybe you bring Sliodani in and loan him out. But Lunin clearly wants to play and have some game time, so in my opinion, you probably bring him in and loan Lunin out will be the smartest decision, because Lunin doesn't want to be backup anymore, and we've discussed this. Lunin wants to leave but not on a permanent deal, so he wants to leave only on a loan deal, which seems quite bizarre to me, except he wants to prove the club, the team, the fans wrong. So yeah, it really depends what happens. And then the Traoré deal, apparently things are getting closer and closer. Nothing agreed as of now when I'm recording this. But apparently 80 million plus 20 million on bonuses will be what we are offering Monaco, which is a lot of money. 100 million for Tchouaméni. He is a good player, but let me know if you think he is worth it. Should we go with someone else? Should we go with Barella? Or I'm trying to think of other midfielders, but just none come to mind. I'm pretty sure we'll be trying to get Bellingham next season, but don't see how that's gonna happen. So yeah, there are players on the market that could move, but is Tchouaméni the right one? I've not watched much of him. I've not watched much of Monaco or the French league, to be honest. So yeah, if you are someone who watched the French league a lot, do let me know how Tchouaméni has been doing. I know he's a good player, but how good is he? And that is the question. And I'm gonna leave it here. And yeah, I'm gonna put in, if I can find it, a clip of me. Not really a clip, but if I can find it, I will put it in. If I can't, this will be the end of the video. But I said to Liverpool fans in a preview that I streamed on Twitch. And by the way, my Twitch link is down in the description below. Yeah. So whether the videos continue, I'm not so sure. But hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Number 14. I'll be aiming for another one next season, like Florentino Perez said. What a season has been. We'll be back in the upcoming days with more videos as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. If Real Madrid lose, okay, yeah, I will make an apology video to Liverpool fans. I'll make an apology video by myself to Liverpool fans and apologize for everything I have said. Okay? And if Liverpool lose, Liverpool fans will subscribe to my channel. That's the deal.